What are the three most important questions that everyone seems to want to ask me after they've been injured? Well, it sounds kind of funny, but in plain language, they want to know how long, how much, how hard. Maybe not in that order, but those are the three big questions. And a good lawyer should be able to answer those questions, or most of those questions, right away. How long? That means, to me, how long will the case take? For example, in Virginia, you have 2 years. That is 2 years generally from the date of injury to bring a claim, or you're forever blocked by what's called the statute of limitations. It's too late in the eyes of the court. So your case must be filed, if you can't settle it beforehand, within 2 years. We're also blessed by having some of the fastest courts in the country. In fact, our federal court is called the Rocket Docket, and they generally, like most of our state courts in Northern Virginia, get you a trial date within a year of when you ask for it, which means a personal injury case should be done within 3 years, unless it's quite complicated or needs to be stopped and restarted. Other states where I practice, cases take 3, 5, 7 years or more. But in Virginia, the cases move quite quickly for personal injury claims. Most personal injury cases do settle, especially when the fault is clearly on the other side. If it's a close call on whose fault it is, then the case would probably go to court, or if the injuries are complicated or not clear. Other cases, like Social Security cases, take longer because we don't get to pick a trial date, and workers' compensation cases often take less time because they're shorter hearings and the doctors do not need to come and testify. The reports come in automatically. The next question is often, how hard? How hard is my case? How difficult is it? Will I win? Can you handicap it, Mr. Landau? Is it a 60-40? What would be the odds in Las Vegas? Oftentimes, we don't know what the odds are until we have done our investigation. Often we'll hire private investigators who will look at films from intersectional collisions or the airport injuries or other places where photographs or movies may have been made. But usually within 60 to 90 days we have a real clear idea of whether or not we can even win the case and how hard it will be. Another thing we look at in Virginia is whether or not the accident was at all our own client's fault, because if it was, the case may not be a winner even if the defendant did something very, very unsafe or stupid. So the next question, how hard? That one takes a while to discern, unless someone ran a red light on film and in front of lots of witnesses, in which case that's an easy question to answer. The third question, how much, actually is a double-barrel question. How much, meaning how much can I expect to get out of my case? And also, how much are you going to cost, Mr. Landau? Let me answer the second one first. How much are we paid? We are not paid anything unless we are successful in either winning the case, settling the case, arbitrating or mediating the case such that my client gets a good result. Put it another way, if we go to court and we lose, I am not paid for my time or effort, nor is any of my staff. If we do win, then in our personal injury cases, in our workplace workers' comp injury cases, and in our Social Security disability cases, we're paid on a contingency fee contract, meaning it is contingent upon our winning. And in workers' comp, for example, and Social Security, it must be approved by the judge before we're paid anything. Win, lose, or draw, we would like to get reimbursed for any expenses we have paid on behalf of our clients. If I've paid $111 for medical records, and if I've paid for private investigator, and if I paid for exhibits, I'd like to get reimbursed if we win the case, settle the case, arbitrate, or mediate the case. These payments really are akin to an interest-free loan for our client. And most of our clients could not get an interest-free loan after getting hurt on the job or in an accident. So it's a pretty good deal. All clients see a written final accounting at the end of every single case. So that's the how much. And the contingency fee depends on what kind of case. The question next is, how much will I get? And that's the one I usually don't know the answer when I first meet a client. The reason is, I don't know the extent of all of the harms and losses. I don't know all of the injuries, and I may have not even read any of the medical records, and I do read them all, even the ones with bad handwriting. I don't know how long they'll be away from work, how long and whether or not they'll be disabled forever from the job that they performed. And there's too many variables to know at that first or even second meeting what the total outcome will be. But well before any trial or hearing date, we will have a very good idea of what the case is worth. How do we do that? Simple, the old-fashioned way. We have experience trying many kinds of cases. We have experience in the courts. We do research to find out similar verdicts and settlements in similar cases. And while every single case is unique, because each of us is unique, we also go to the additional time, effort, and expense of mock trying the majority of our cases before they go to court. In other words, we will try the case and have, like a scouting trip, a very clear picture of the range of likely verdicts or settlements, and then sit down with our clients and have the hard conversation about what we think the value of the case is well before any trial date. We don't leave things to the last minute, and we are unafraid of approaching even the hard questions. But if you want to know whether or not you are talking with the best lawyer for your case, then you should ask those three questions. How hard is my case? How long will my case take? And how much will it cost, and how much will I get? Those three basic questions should be able to be answered to your satisfaction, no matter where in the United States of America you are, and no matter who the lawyer is you're speaking to, whether it's me or anyone else. Ask your three questions, ask other questions, and make sure you get direct, sensible answers.